Hey guys, or shall I say, fellow visionaries. Welcome to my new endeavor that I'm launching in November 2025, which I decided to call Visionary Uprising. My name is Evgen. Normally I'm based in Prague, the Czech Republic, and I've been teaching and consulting and coaching this stuff now for more than 3 decades. Initially in communications, working with creators, leaders, change makers. In the last 15 years, startup founders and entrepreneurs. And I see the need for vision is becoming more and more important. There are several reasons. In the past, you had some idea, imaginary experience, you just had to figure out how to package it and communicate it. And people sort of understood, because very often these things were just innovation or sort of like projection of what we had. So people sort of understood it was more gradual, more linear. But now the whole game changed, because there are technologies coming online and coming to our lives that had never been there. And they seem to be strange, foreign. And it takes time before they become obvious or normal. And all these things are bringing a vision of new alternative future. And it's created by people like you. But it's not only about that you create the idea, you create a company, you launch a business, but it's also how you get it into the mind of your customers. So vision making is more and more important, because it also has to teach people how to create new meanings. So I decided to select 3 foundational principles that I will cover in 3 free Zoom webinars, and that content then will stay there for my clients and also on my new Substack, which is also called Visionary Uprising, and will be available for people who want to learn these things before I launch some more serious stuff like workshops and masterclasses and things like that. But the 3 things are this. One is how to make vision, like the technology of vision making, or rather the mental technology. How we put these things together. What are the building blocks? You may have listened to some presentation which initially sounded very ambitious and very attractive and compelling, and at some point you felt like there's something missing. Something doesn't sit well in the whole thing. And if you know how to analyze these things, you usually figure out that they omitted something. They sometimes concealed certain things. And so your unconscious mind, when deciphering and trying to find the meaning in it, say, okay, here's the sort of like error. And it would be enough just to pay attention to these details, and the presentation of your vision will skyrocket. So we'll be covering the basics in the first class. And once you understand how to map these visions out, we will also talk a bit about how to transfer them into the minds of your followers. And that's the prerequisite for leadership. Because a leader has to create it first in their mind, and they have to go there first and invite the people to the destination, right? To the new world they are creating. So after this session, we'll move to the second one. And that's a topic which is very popular on podcasts and LinkedIn and everywhere. And it's scaling. Scaling up, usually. Because the world is opening. There are so many possibilities. You know, the boundaries are sort of dissipating. And so the maneuvering space is changing. So we'll be talking about that, because when you want to scale, it's not only scaling in technical terms or logistical terms, it's also about our own ability as entrepreneurs or creators to absorb the change without becoming overwhelmed or panicky or unsure. And it's about how to normalize the scaling to ourselves. And then also to figure out how to basically teach or help or guide your followers, your clients, for example, for this new speed or new scale. So maneuvering space is going to be the second topic, and how to scale in it. The third one is something which is very close to my heart, because my the first profession was public relations, investor communications, and all that stuff. And public relations is not only about organizing media relations and interviews and these things, but it's about creating attitudes educating people, explaining new stuff, creating context. And that's extremely important when, for example, you have new biotechnologies, new medical possibilities. Now, all that stuff with artificial intelligence that needs to be explained. We need to teach people how to relate to these things. And if we don't do it, then all those meanings are basically up to them. So you can imagine it's going to be like a Babel Tower, you know. So we have to figure out how to do that properly. So we'll be talking about meaning making as one of the key things you need as an entrepreneur or startup founder. So I'm starting this week. I'm looking forward to see you in class. You have to register because it's only by invitation and by registering. So register below. You'll get your link and I'll see you there. And I hope that together we'll build some community of people who are looking at visions not only in terms of like ambitions and the new vistas or destinations we want to conquer, but also in terms of structure. Not only how to conquer the outside world, but also how to build the inner game of the creators, founders, explorers. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in class and that we are jointly going to create something magnificent.